right, I'm going to show you the additive and subtractive. We're going to do it Tim's method, subtract part of it. So let's do this. What I did was I made a drawing, which you're going to have to do shortly. I made a drawing with all the dimensions on it. But let's start with a new part file. And we're going to use Tim's method. We're going to create a 2D sketch. We're going to draw on the XY. And we're going to create a rectangle. And we're going to start in the upper quadrant. Why are we going to start in the upper quadrant? So we have all positive numbers. That'll help us out later on. Now we're going to dimension this. How big is that box? How big does that box have to be? Is it 1.08 by 0.609? No, it's not. How big is it? It looks to me like it's 2 by 3. 2 by 3. You see my dimensions? Okay, so how do I edit a dimension once I have a dimension? How could I edit that? What if I double click on it? Huh. 3. Yep. Uh-oh. I could say zoom all. I could bring it in. Then I could double click on this dimension. And what's this dimension supposed to be? 2. Right? Boom. Zoom all. There we go. Before I cut anything out, what I have to do is extrude this, right? Finish my sketch. And then extrude. I'm going to go back into the screen. And how far back do I want to go? 0.75. Excellent. So there we go. Piece of cake, right? Well, wait a minute. What if I change my mind? What if I want that to go back into the screen 1 inch after I've already done it? Watch this. I can go over here to my browser bar, and I can go to my part. When I hover over what's over here, it highlights on the screen what part that is. I can look at this, and I can go and I can edit the sketch. Let's say I wanted, you see that 3 inches? Let's say I want that 3 inches to be 4. Could I edit that? Yup. I right click and say edit sketch. And then I can change my sketch. If I want to edit the extrusion and change how deep it goes, I can say edit feature. Click on edit feature, change the distance to 1 inch. See it change? It changed. Okay? So here we are. We've got a good start. What do we do next? Anybody but Tim, what do we do next? We're going to create a 2D sketch, and we're going to cut away a rectangle from this corner. Something like that. Oh, but that's not the right size. That's okay. What do? Dimension it. What's that supposed to be? 0.75. Is it? This isn't 0.75. It's really what? 1. Very good. You see how I can edit dimensions? It's real easy. All right. What's this dimension supposed to be then? 2. Boom. There it is. Right click, finish my sketch. Extrude. The only thing different now is when I extrude, I'm going to extrude a cut. And I'm going to go back. How far? I can say 1 inch and go back after I pick it. Or I can also say distance. I can say all. And it'll cut all the way back. Whatever's there, it'll cut all the way back. And I'll say OK. Good. Now there's only one problem. What was that problem? It's 1 inch. They made it wrong. It's 1 inch instead of 3/4. So this distance right here has to be what? 1 inch. How do I make that 1 inch again? Go back to my extrusion, right click, edit the feature, change it to 1 inch. Say OK. And you see, because I chose all, when I extruded it, it took all of it. No matter how thick it is, it took the whole thing. There's my part. All right. Now, what do I have to do next? I have to stick this onto it, don't I? All right. So go back to my part. Rotate it. Let's work on the back of this. Create my sketch on here. So we've done subtractive. Now we're going to do additive. Okay. So I'm going to try a rectangle. And I'm going to start at that corner. And you see how it locked green when it was up here, and now it locks onto that line too. I'm going to click on that. The only dimension I have to put in is that. It's got to be 1 inch. And I don't have to put this one in because it accepted it when I went from here to here. It's locked onto this corner, so now when I extrude it, I finish my 2D sketch, extrude, I pick the profile I want to extrude, make sure it's coming the right direction. And how far do I want to extrude it out? 1 inch, okay. And my part's done. Using, we'll call this the Tim method, okay? It's the Tim method for making it. Maybe you don't make it like that, that's fine. You make it any way you want, but that's how you do additive and subtractive. Remember to edit things, you can go over to your browser, but look at all the extrusions I've got now. That's the first thing you did is the first one, the second thing you did is the second one, and the third thing you did is the third one. And I can go edit any part of that, and if I open these up, I can go edit just the sketch if I want. And it's that easy.